And remember, there's never been savings like this before. So come on down, folks, and see me, Harry Braid, at the all-new 24-hour everything you need at low prices warehouse right across the street from Puttnam's Prairie Emporium. See you there.
Golly, Mr. P, that new store is sure raising a ruckus.
You need some kind of strategy. It's like chess. You gotta outmaneuver the enemy and force him to surrender. It's war out there, boss.
Yes, there's a lot of that going on.
Iran's attack on Iraq today was in response to an Iraqi attack on Iran yesterday, in response to an Iranian attack on Iraq the day before, in response...
The Bears blasted the Wombats 6-2. The Seals destroyed the Clams 4-1, and the Hawks nuked the Doves 10-3.
I'm getting depressed.
You had money on the Wombats too, huh, boss? Okay, Beefalo Breath, get yourself out of this one. Ha! I can smell victory in the air already.
That may not be victory, Caldecott. I had cabbage for lunch. You seem to be taking this game rather seriously.
Chess isn't a game. It's a war in a checkered battlefield, and I'm the general leading his troops into the fray. Come on, beefcakes. It's your move. The 21st century's coming. Chess a game. That's a good one, boss.
Okay, Ivan. Queen to King 5.
Oh, nice move, Benjamin. Sorry, Caldecott. Checkmate. You lose.
Who cares? It's only a game.
There's a place we all can go. It's always been there, I know. They have things there you would not believe. So come on down to Puttnam's, and you'll see what I mean. New adventures all the time, and Mr. Puttnam thinks it's fine. You can be yourself there, it's alright to be you. You will find a friend and a smile or two. At Puttnam's you'll always feel at home. At Puttnam's you'll never feel alone. Magic's in the air, your friends are everywhere. At Puttnam's Prairie Emporium.
What can I do for you today?
I say, Puttnam, you wouldn't have something for a headache, would you?
Oh, certainly.
Oh, good stuff. Oh, that did the trick. I've got a doozy now.
That'll be 5 cents, please.
Oh, yes, of course, yes.
Thank you.
You know, you wouldn't get service like this at that 24-hour get everything you need at low prices warehouse. Cheek of those blighters moving in across the street.
Well, a little bit of competition never hurt anybody, Colonel.
Competition? The enemy's in your own backyard, Puttnam. It's time to launch an offensive. This is war. Remember what the great British Prime Minister Sir Winston Churchill once said. Without victory, there is no survival.
Yeah, and he was a smart guy.
But didn't he also say that if human beings want to prosper, they have to behave in a peaceful and helpful way towards one another? I'm paraphrasing, of course.
I say.
Churchill said that? What does he know?
Hello, Colonel. How are you?
Oh, top-notch, Mrs. Gallagher, top-notch. There's not a better store in town for headaches than the Prairie Emporium. And for that reason alone, we must defend it to the death.
The Colonel thinks we're being invaded by that new store across the street.
Precisely.
Well, Colonel, the Prairie Emporium's been around for a long time. I'm sure it will survive. There's enough fighting going on in the world without bringing it into the neighborhood.
Oh, hi. Hi.
Hi, Katie. Where's Mark?
Mark?
The kid in the opening credits with you? The one that drives you crazy?
Oh, he's here, and nothing's wrong.
What do you mean nothing's wrong? What's wrong?
Thanks. Hi.
Mark, what happened to your clothes?
It looks like you've been rolling in the dirt.
Yeah. All the kids are doing it. It's the latest thing since acid wash jeans.
And it makes about as much sense.
Come on, Mark, what happened? And take those glasses off when I'm talking to you.
Mom.
Oh, look at that shiner. My compliments to makeup.
Mark, what on earth happened?
It wasn't my fault, Mom. It was that geek Larry Bragg. He said his dad's store was going to run Grandpa's business, and that nobody would show up at the Prairie Emporium.
Oh, I see.
So you defended the honor of the Prairie Emporium, eh? Bravo, lad, bravo. You have a very brave boy here, Puttnam. You should be very proud of him.
Well, actually...
Fighting isn't anything to be proud of, Colonel. I don't care what the reason is. Somebody always gets hurt.
In this case, Mark.
Every fight worth fighting has its sacrifices, Mrs. Gallagher. Sometimes it's necessary to strike out against injustice.
Yeah.
What this lad did is nothing less than what we were asked to do during World War II. History has taught us that sometimes it takes war to stop war.
The only thing history's taught us is that we haven't learned anything from it. There's still fighting going on somewhere in the world every minute of every day.
Yeah, I say.
Well, that's what I find hard to understand. Scientifically speaking, I mean. Well, we've traveled to the moon and we've seen just how small the Earth is from up there, with no fences and no borders. And we're still fighting over scraps of land the way our ancestors did.
And every day on television, we see how people live in other countries around the world. And sure, there are differences, but there are a lot of similarities, too.
But if people are so alike, why do they fight so much?
Oh, there are as many different reasons as there are wars, Katie.
I disagree, Colonel. I think most conflicts can be put down to one of two things. Somebody wanting something somebody else has, or somebody not liking the way somebody else thinks or looks.
I say.
Yeah, why is it you humans make such a big deal about the color of a person's skin? Or the God he believes in, or the country he belongs to? It never made very much sense to me.
Well, it's called prejudice. Some people find it easy to hate someone else without really knowing anything about them.
I'm just glad cats have too much sense to be prejudiced.
What about dogs, Caldecott?
Dogs, that's different. Everybody knows they're stupid. All you gotta do is look at them to know that. They've always got their tongues hanging out.
Well, I guess it's hard to go through life without some prejudices. But we shouldn't expect everyone to have the same beliefs and ideas as we do.
But Mrs. Gallagher, we have to protect ourselves from those ideas which can do us harm. Where would we be today if we hadn't stood up to the likes of Adolf Hitler? Mark, if your country was in trouble, you'd want to protect it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I guess so, sure.
Well, of course you would. And so would every person and hand puppet in this room.
I might be out of town that weekend. Can I get back to you on that?
We all agree that we love our country, Colonel, and want to keep it safe. But shouldn't we feel that way about the whole world and want to keep it safe, too?
But the lad was right. He was standing up for the Prairie Emporium.
He didn't stand up for very long.
But wasn't the other boy just standing up for his father's store? He probably thought he was right, too.
I say, Puttnam, don't you find that thing annoying?
Pop, you haven't been saying much through all of this. Don't you think it's time you gave Mark and Katie their weekly lesson on life? I'm sure the children out there would like an answer to this.
Yeah, I know I would.
Yes, of course. Well, Mark, you have to remember that fighting is, well, Mark, it's very important that we always, I'm sorry, but this isn't going to work. I'd like to be able to tell you all what's right and wrong here, but I just don't know.
It says here.
I know what the script says, Mike, but maybe the Colonel has a point. It's easy to say love your neighbor, but what if that neighbor is moving his furniture into your house?
Precisely.
We can say it's wrong to fight, but what if your family or your friends or your country's at stake?
Not to mention your cat basket.
But, Mr. P, don't you think we should set an example?
Of course we should, Benjamin. But how can I tell the children not to fight when they see adults fighting all over the world? How can I tell them that a friendly smile and a kind word are all it takes to stop it when I'm not sure I believe that myself? I'm sorry, everyone, but I just don't have an answer right now.
I say, he's not supposed to exit yet, is he?
I've never seen him like this before.
Yeah, he always has the answers to everything. In fact, it gets on my nerves sometimes.
Is Grandpa okay, Mom?
Well, of course he is. He just has a few things to sort out, that's all. Come on, Mark. While we're waiting, let's have a look at that eye.
Okay.
What are we supposed to do until then? I say, where's everybody going? There's a good 10 minutes left in the episode. I say, this is most irregular.